All right, so today's lesson, we're going to talk about dilution. So this is kind of the last thing we have to cover for our solutions unit for the most part. So you're already done. So dilution is a relatively straightforward concept. We just have to make sure we're setting our questions up correctly is the big issue. So the formula for dilution is going to be this. C1V1 equals C2V2. Okay, so I know you've seen this before, the concentration. So concentration 1, volume 1, so is our initial concentration. And the units for that haven't changed. Concentration units are moles per liter. V1 is our initial volume, which is in liters. Okay, so straightforward, same thing we've always seen. Our last next to C2V2 is going to be our final concentration. What happened there? Constant. There we go, which is also in moles per liter. And V2 is going to be our final volume, which is in liters. Okay, so straightforward. We have C1, V1, C2, V2. Units are the same as what we've done before, moles per liter, liters. And here's our formula right here, very similar to the Boyle's law calculation. So one thing we can kind of look at and analyze, if we have C1V1 equals C2V2, well, if you have your initial concentration and volume and you all of a sudden increase the volume, we have a inversely proportional relationship. If you increase one of them, well, the other one has to go down as a result. So you can just think about that with common day things. If all of a sudden you add more water, if you got, I don't know what your parents did this, but when I was little, you had your apple juice, right? And you had a concentration that came out of the box. Your parents added water to it to reduce the concentration, reduce the amount of sugar you're having. Okay. My parents did that. I don't know if anyone else's did, but that's one thing that we can kind of look at. We increase the volume, our concentration goes down. As a reverse, if we think about our volume decreasing, so if all of a sudden liquid is evaporating, well, the ions in there aren't going to leave, so the concentration is going to increase. Okay, so that's a really important thing to understand is when you're having your ions or your solute, it doesn't leave the solution. Your water can leave and you can reduce the volume, but your concentration, your actual moles, your solute, whatever is dissolved in there, can't leave. This is why you get like things like rings on your cups of water or something that we leave sitting around. Okay, so let's just do some examples. So what volume of 12 moles per liter hydrochloric acid is needed to make 300 milliliters of 1.2 moles per liter of solution? So always what you should do, and since we have so many formulas here, is just start writing out what we got. We've got what volume, so we're looking for a volume. That's what we're looking for. We don't know right now which one it is, of 12.1 moles per liter. So since we're asking for a volume, and they give us a concentration, we can say that's our initial volume, or volume 1, and concentration 1 is 12.1 moles per liter. Okay. So now we just have to look and say, okay, what's next? We got hydrochloric acid, that's our compound, is needed to make 300 milliliters of 1.2 moles per liters of solution. So we want to up the volume to a total of 300 milliliters. And our concentration, that's what we want our concentration in the end to be, is 1.25 moles per liter. So this is all hydrochloric acid, right? We're dealing with an initial one, and then we're adding volume to get a secondary concentration. So notice how my concentration is 12.1 here. It goes down to 1.2. So we've diluted this by adding more water. We're trying to figure out how much volume we initially have of the HCl um, to get this amount that would be required. Okay, so we just go through our formula. We have C1V1 equals C2V2. We want to solve for V1, so we're going to rearrange that to be V1 equals C2V2 divided by V1. Oh, sorry, C1. There we go. There's our proper formula. So now we just have to take what we have and start plugging it in. So one thing, you have milliliters here. And what we can do is we can leave this as milliliters because when in the end we're looking for volume, normally we deal with liters, but it's the same thing as gas law. If we actually look when we start putting in our formula, we have C2, which is 1.25 times our divided by